you'll pair up. You will be the presidential candidate, and Eugene Wamalwa will be the deputy president, so to speak. I don't know, I just want to ask you, yeah, is that really up your collective sleeves? Because the initial idea was also to maybe rope in the governor of Trans Nzoia, of the Tawe movement.
Which we did. I think we did.
Of the Tawe movement. Yeah, but he's been casing the joint, so to speak. He's been, you know, biding his time, thinking about it, and he thinks maybe he should run or rerun for the governorship. So is that in the pipeline?
I can tell you one thing with certainty. We do not as yet have a presidential candidate. We do not have a presidential running mate. We are building united opposition. And at the opportune time, we will give this country a presidential candidate and a running mate, and there's enough space for all of us. The reformists, people who want to change this country for good, I'm sure we'll stick together. You have heard of other colleagues.
So there has been no conversation like that?
No, we haven't. We haven't discussed, but I can tell you that Eugene has stuck with me. We started even before Fred Matiang'i flew in and other people. This Western tour, by the way, brought together everybody. Matiang'i was on board, Natembeya was on board, and it was beautiful to see the DAP team, Democratic Action Party team of Natembeya and Eugene Wamalwa. Amazing.
All right.
Of course, Eugene is a party leader, and Governor Trans Nzoia is a deputy.
Wiper Patriotic Front. Why change of name?
Because we wanted to capture the spirit of the young Kenyans who are saying it's not just enough to use the word democratic. It's tired, it's been overused. So we want the oomph, the patriotism. That is the spirit we captured of the young Kenyans, agencies, not necessarily saying they cannot join us, but they're free. We want to end up with come up with a political movement which is all-inclusive, which is going to take into account the youth of this country, the patriotism, the vigor. It's not going to be no more movement democracy. No, we are going for patriotism. Therefore, it's a front, because we are in a fighting mood right now to safeguard our democracy. We will be rebranding, of course. We'll get the name and even the slogan, Komboa Kenya. And around the month of September, we'll be having, September before October, our delegates conference, so that we can also come up with the new leadership of the movement, right? People like Farah Maalim left us when they said they can kill 5,000 Gen Zs. We had to tell him, please, stay out. Yeah?
He was a vice party leader?
He was a deputy leader.
Deputy leader.
Yeah. So we're rebranding, we are refashioning, and of course we'll also have to operate, take into account our coalition partners.
Okay.
Yeah.
As we're winding up, you talked about the foreign policy that is in shambles. You again, as a former minister of Foreign Affairs, you once championed Kenya's image as a neutral peace broker in the region. You've talked about NATO and the non-alignment policy there. Then how do you respond to the Bellingcat revelations that they actually did an expose with the Daily Nation?
What those again?
It's a research firm. A research firm? Yes, okay. That Kenyan labeled ammunition was found in RSF's hands in Sudan, which is a clear contradiction to our stated neutrality. Would you agree that such allegations, whether by commission or omission, signal a dangerous erosion of our diplomatic credibility?
Indeed, and also falls squarely within the framework of ICC statute.
Indeed.
I'll tell you why. Charles Taylor, former president of Liberia, was found guilty before the International Criminal Court for acts of war and interference with what was happening in Senegal. A group called RUF used to cut people's limbs and things.
So that they can't vote. Yes.
Yeah, they can't vote. So he was found culpable. He was found guilty and sentenced. I'm not saying, I'm not even trying to imply anything, but the matter is so serious that Kenya's taxpayers' money, which buys ammunition and things, cannot be seen to be used for warlike activities in a neighboring country, an IGAD member country. Our position has been that of non-interference in the affairs of other countries in the region. That's why we were trusted over years. That's how I was able to preach peace and get people, knock people together. I can tell you at our residence here, one time I got President Abdullah Yusuf of Somalia and the Prime Minister at that time called Abdul Qassam Salad. I think he's still alive in Egypt. We got them here, we got them through the Baghdadi peace process. I even declared myself a member of a clan called Digli Mirifle in Somalia. The Somalis trusted us. And in fact, one time when I was moved from the Somali peace process, I remember that they met in Gigiri and all shouted, saying, why should the Kalonzo have been replaced by John Koech that time? Yeah? It's when I was moved from Minister of Foreign Affairs to Environment by Kibaki. And we worked. Everybody knows the role we have played, not everybody, a lot of people know the role we have played in making sure that Southern Sudan comes out as the world's newest state. We did a comprehensive peace agreement in Nairobi because they could trust this country, until which led then to a referendum establishing the new state. The amount of work we did to convince President Bashir that time, with the help of President Bouteflika, the then president of Algeria, to help me as a negotiator to convince al-Bashir to allow John Garang of South Sudan, was the leader then, the founder actually, because John Garang used to say, please don't kill my thieves, I want them with their arms because of Sharia.